What's happening, film friends? David the Film Junkie here, bringing you a random video that kind of ties into my little, I guess you could say I kind of ranted a little bit on Saturday's Film Junkie about the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. Just gonna let you guys know that there will be spoilers in here, so if you don't want to listen, you don't have to listen. And if you haven't seen the movie yet, what the hell's wrong with you? It's been 2 months. Go see the movie! Just kidding, guys. If you haven't seen it yet, it's fine. But I just thought I'd make this video because, you know, as much as I enjoyed Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, you know, there was a lot wrong with it. It seemed like at the last minute they started pulling this. They started just dissecting the absolute shit out of this fucking movie. And you know, there's a lot of parts that worked. I liked the action. The action really worked. I love Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. He works. I love the chemistry between him and Emma Stone. The Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker chemistry was great. I didn't really dig the up and down love story. It got old pretty quickly, but I did dig the chemistry. But other than that, there was just really a lot wrong with this script. Badass Digest, I guess, received an early draft of Amazing Spider-Man 2. Okay? And reading through, I'm going, holy shit, this should have been the movie. Why did they change? Why did they make these changes? I don't know. I think this would have made the movie a lot better. And there was actually a surprise ending, a very surprise ending that would have blown everybody away, but yet they just stuck with that fucking Rhino ending, which was just lame. And it was the very last scene was in the TV spots, in the trailer. What the hell? Yeah, when he swings the fucking the manhole lid right at the Rhino, that was in the fucking trailer, and it was the last scene of the movie. Ugh, don't know exactly what they're going on, but anyways, here we go. So, in the actual movie, you know, Peter Parker, of course, he's broken. He retires as Spider-Man because Gwen Stacy, you know, he snapped her back on accident. It was dramatic, but it was straight out of the comics, which was cool. You know, it was straight out of the comics, and I think a lot of comic book nerds out there like myself were kind of like, okay, cool. They brought that straight from the comics, and the way they did it was pretty cool. I kind of dug it. I mean, we saw it coming, though, you know. Okay, but here's what the original ending would have been. Okay, we'll start with that first. And it says the finished film was a terrible bit at the end where Peter quits being Spider-Man for a bunch of months. Okay, that's the original film. Okay, the same thing happens here, but instead of finding a tape of Gwen's super on-the-nose graduation speech, Peter is approached by his fucking dad, Richard Parker. Whoa, what the hell? Okay, and he tells Peter he's been watching him for years. He knows. He saw him become Spider-Man. He knew he was Spider-Man. And then Richard convinces Peter to become Spider-Man again. And in his last scene in the movie, he tells Pete, with great power comes great responsibility. Fuck! There's that fucking line, that famous line, worked into the movie, and they cut it out. Why? Who knows? Okay. So then we get to Mary Jane Watson, okay? Some of you might not know this, some of you do, that Shailene Woodley, who I have a crush on right now because she's just like in everything right now and she's hot. Anyways, she's supposed to play Mary Jane. She was cast as Mary Jane, okay? And she was actually in the movie. They shot scenes with her, but they cut them out completely. Why? Who knows? Okay, so right here, according to this, it says, as well known, Shailene Whitney was cast as Mary Jane Watson. Shot some days and then was completely cut from the movie. The original script includes all the MJ scenes, and she's introduced as Parker's new next-door neighbor. Her dad is an abusive drunk, of course. She's a waitress who builds motorcycles in her spare time. She has a Spider-Man tattoo on her wrist, and she's clearly interested in Peter, who is totally hung up on Gwen, of course. Duh, you know, hey, Emma Stone, he can't help that. Anyways, at one point, Spider-Man confronts MJ's dad, telling him to lay off the girl. That's kind of lame, that's cheesy. I don't really dig that part. I don't really care for that part, but it's okay. At the end of the script, Gwen comes to Peter's house before heading to London. He's gone, but meets the new neighbor. So they come face to face. The two love interest. Come on. They have a friendly exchange, and MJ says she always attracts dickheads, you know, and asks Gwen what her advice is to get a guy like Peter. And Gwen states, date a nerd. Yes. Girls, listen to MJ. Listen to Gwen, not MJ. Listen to Gwen. Date a nerd. We're not all that bad. Gwen says before heading off to die, basically giving MJ the okay to get with Peter. Because she knows she's leaving. Why not? Okay, and then another added character that was cut out of the movie that we were craving this, that we wanted to see, and all we saw was like an email message. Fucking J. Jonah Jameson. He was going to be in this movie. You know, I mean, who knows who would have played him, because let's face it, J.K. Simmons nailed that role in the original fucking trilogy, man. And then, yeah, he was in it alongside Robbie Robertson, okay? And then, okay, so Jameson is in the original script, as is Robbie Robertson. We see Peter, who is a student at Empire State University, bring his first Spider-Man pictures to Jameson, who gives him a tour of the Daily Bugle. Okay, Jameson then complains that the internet is killing the newspaper business. Naturally, that's fucking what's going on. That's cool. I love how they it's topical, pretty much. This is what's going on in the world today. I love that. And Spidey and Electro's first fight send them crashing through the Daily Bugle's office and printing presses. Ha! There you go. That would have been fine. Another major difference involves Peter giving blood to Harry Osborn. Okay, remember that whole shit, that whole exchange where Harry Osborn was like, he needed Spider-Man's blood so then he could cure his disease? Well, turns out Peter actually gives him the fucking his blood instead of just Harry injecting in Venom. And here's what it says right here. In the original script, Peter actually gives his blood to Harry Osborn. This is a huge improvement over the finished film. Yes, I totally agree with that. Or Harry just injects the spider venom and then he just starts. It would have been just a little more dramatic. It would have been so much better. I actually wanted to see that happen, and it was in the original script. And in the original script, the Goblin suit is better explained. It isn't for military use, but it was specifically built in secret for Norman Osborn. There you go. It wasn't just like fucking Harry just strapping into the suit and going, okay, I got this. There was actually a backstory. There wasn't too much of a backstory when it came to the technology of the Green Goblin. So, I mean, that's just, anyways, let's continue. When Richard Parker wouldn't give his blood to Norman Osborn, yeah, that's what was supposed to happen. The Parker DNA is still being the key to all this. I mean, pretty much that's the key to this whole fucking story is the Parker DNA. And I mean, if they threw that in there in this script, why not just make that the key element? The suit went into Norman's boathouse where Harry finds it. So it would have been a lot different. It wasn't just chilling in a fucking building. Okay, and then of course the Gwen Stacy death, that is actually pretty close to what it was in the original script. Only though she has a little bit more life left. She didn't just instantly die, okay? She hangs there and demands Peter never to give up because this is the same character who promptly broke his promise to Captain Stacy in The Amazing Spider-Man. Peter quits being Spider-Man in the next scene. This report also reveals that the Rhino had a cameo appearance towards the end. It wasn't involved with the whole truck heist thing, so we didn't see Rhino at the beginning. You know, the young boy in the film who is seen wearing a Spider-Man costume standing up to Rhino wasn't in the draft as well. I actually kind of dug that. I don't know why. It was just kind of heartwarming. It was different. But the script also gives more details of Max Dillon, which is, what's his name? Electro, Jamie Foxx, the crazy dude, who lives at home with his handicapped mother. After he dies in the incident that turned him into Electro, Max sees his mother actually standing up while getting a big payout from Oscorp, which sets off his Times Square confrontation. See, I mean, I don't. It's a lot better than just Electro going, holy shit, instead of him just wreaking havoc of just because he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He actually had more of a reason instead of just seeing his face on all the screens. I'm telling you what, man, I don't know why. I really don't know why they didn't go with this original script, or at least some of it. Holy shit. I mean, it would have been a better movie. It seemed like it was more contained, like it knew what it wanted to be. It seemed like all the elements were there with specific with the specifics that they needed to keep the story going, and I don't know what the fuck happened. Maybe Sony was just like, that's not good. We gotta put the Rhino in the first scene, and then we gotta have him in the last scene, and then we can't have Richard Punk, and we can't have that twist. Why can't you have a twist like that? So now, I'm starting to not like Amazing Spider-Man 2 a little more because of what it could have been. Okay? Now, I want to know what you guys think about this. It's interesting, very interesting to me. Because like I said, I did enjoy the second Spider-Man because, like I said, the action was great. I love Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker and Spidey because I just never was a huge fan of Tobey. Not saying Tobey didn't do a good job. I mean, I still think the original Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man movie that we've gotten. But it's just, man, I don't know. I think this script, or like if they would have just fine-tuned this original draft, movie would have been a lot better. Well received by critics and fans out there. So let me know what you think about all this. I'll also have an article for this down below, so check it out, guys. Let me know what you think down below in the balls area, like I said, and also hit that like, thumbs up button if you'd be so kind. Subscribe to the Android Spin channel if you have not already. And that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think about all this. It's interesting. I am David, the Film Junkie, and this has been The Amazing Spider-Man 2, What It Could Have Been. And it could have been something a lot better. Alright, guys. Talk to you later.